Video has no sound, it says. That's weird. Does it have sound? Hello, hello, and welcome. Let me take this AirPod out of my ear. There we go. I got this case right here. Hey there, my name is Peter Hartman. You're watching Bad Guru Nightly, and I am Bad Guru. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Yay, you did it! We made it! Merry Christmas! Right off the top here, just in case people are just going to watch the first minute, I want to tell everybody that I care about, and if you know me, you know, okay? I think about all of you, everyone who came to our meetups, all the friends that we've made, all the connections we made. Merry Christmas to you. I'm not the type of person to go and message everybody Merry Christmas, you know. Maybe I should do it this time of year, but this time I decided I was going to issue my Merry Christmas to everybody in video form live on the internet. I think that beats out messaging, right? You're not going to be too upset if I don't message you personally, right? I can start listing names. Then I realized I'm going to leave names out, you know. I got such a bad memory. I'm going to leave names out, okay? Or I'm going to be reading names 50 people long, okay? All you folks, if you've ever messaged or interacted, if you've ever come to a meetup, I remember you. I think about you. And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. You made it. You made it. Not everybody made it to Christmas. No, not everybody made it to Christmas. You got to be grateful for what you got, right? All right. Well, look, I just want to talk to you, have a little bit of time with you here on this Christmas Eve. I got a nice fire going. It's not what's making me sweat. This is not a real fireplace, okay? I am not that rich yet. Hopefully, 2021, right? 2021 fireplace. What are you wishing for in 2021? Hell, what are you wishing for your Christmas present? I wonder that. I wonder what people wish for Christmas. What do you wish for? I know everybody has the same wish. I wish for COVID to go away. I'm sorry? Santa doesn't work at the CDC, doesn't do virus control. If you want a wooden doll, pretty sure Santa can help you with that. If you want an end to this epidemic, start praying to Jesus, all right? Start praying to Jesus. That's what you got to do. What do you want for Christmas? I don't know. If I have to think about what I want for Christmas, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think about it. iPhone 12? 12 Pro? 12 Pro Max? I don't know. I was thinking about Christmases in days gone by. Gone by. I remember this. So I don't know about you guys. I've been meeting more and more people recently. More and more people have joined my family, and I'm realizing just how different it is Christmas for me, poor Black Peter, poor Black Tom, growing up, and like middle class, well-to-do white people. And I don't want to say black people and white people like there's some divide. I'm sure black people have had Christmases like white folks, and white folks have Christmases like black folks. I'm just trying to tell you that I'm now learning what Christmas is like for some other people on this planet. For some other people that live in my city, me, I would get one gift every Christmas. Tom and I, my twin brother Tom and I, we would share one gift every Christmas. And that was like a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, GameCube, right? Every year we got those consoles. We got like one or two games, which is fantastic. It's great. My mom saved up pennies all year round to give us that gift, all right? Did we get gifts the rest of the year? Mm-mm. Any allowance? Mm-mm. I never got no allowance. But I didn't complain because every year my mama, who worked 3 jobs, maybe more, I should know how many jobs my mom worked, 3 jobs, thank you, Mama, for working 3 jobs and getting us those consoles. My God, I mean, I felt such love for my mom every Christmas. You know, did we wait? Did we wait to find out those presents? Tom and I would go hunting around the apartment trying to find these gifts. He'd be standing on my shoulders, going up to the closets. We'd be like little tykes, trying to find these gifts. Okay, you gotta wait for Christmas for your gifts. People with no imagination and creativity have to wait till Christmas, right? We would go hunting and looking for it. This one year. So before I get into the story, the difference between my Christmases and the people that, there's other people that get like 10, 15, 20, 30 gifts for Christmas. I've seen that in movies and TV shows. I thought that was just like movie stuff. There are actual human beings out there. Those sickos, those sicko parents giving their children, their little children, 30 gifts. You want to make crazy people in our society? Are you trying to make the worst possible people in the world? Giving a child 30 gifts. Are you insane? Oh, but we never had gifts growing up. So we just want to give it to our kids. We want to give it to our grandkids. You're ruining the world. Okay? I got one gift a year, and I still want every iPhone, every iPad, every computer. I want every console. I want all those things still. I'm still spoiled. I got one gift a year. These people getting 30 gifts. I'm beginning to understand consumerism, folks. I'm beginning to understand why the world is the way it is. Look, I didn't mean for this Christmas cheerful message to turn into like some hate speech on well-to-do people. That's not the point. Of course, I'm just kidding. Give your kids all the gifts you want, right? You're not just giving kids gifts. You're teaching them lessons. You're making them good. And the people that I met who had 30 gifts growing up actually are remarkably nice people. Maybe even nicer people. You get one gift a year, man, you're walking out there with a knife. You know, I cut you. Don't take what I got. I cut you. Right? You have that one toy, that one thing you cherish. Meanwhile, you're getting 30 gifts. You're like, yeah, fine, freedom, love. Everyone's going to have gifts. Very kind. So maybe I have it backwards. Maybe it's the people who got 30 gifts who are more kind and generous. And the people who didn't get nothing, they're just like holding on to everything. It's mine. It's mine. Oh, could I borrow your comic book? No, it's mine. You're just going to destroy it and I'll have nothing. That's an 8-year-old talking that way, an 8-year-old. All right. Did I save myself? Did I turn it around? You wonderful parents, you wonderful white parents giving your kids lots of gifts. No applause for you, all right? But you mothers out there, your single mothers, single fathers, or whatever, you don't have to be single. You poor people struggling out there, congratulations. You were able to get your kids a gift. Even if you weren't able to get your kids a gift this year, they don't have a roof over their head, congratulations. Congratulations, because not that easy, right? It's not that easy, depending on how you grew up. So my brother and I, we used to go hunting for the gifts in the house, all right? And I would stand on his shoulders, and he'd stand on my shoulders, and we'd be creeping up into every closet, going under every bed, and eventually we'd find it. We'd find it. There was no surprise for Christmas, right? We find the box, we know what we get. And I remember this one Christmas. Oh man, we really wanted a Sega Genesis. Understand this, we went from Nintendo, right? Mario jumping on turtles and stuff. Then Super Nintendo, a better Mario jumping on turtles and stuff. And then there was a Sega Genesis. We were like, ooh, Sega Genesis. What is this? Oh my God, it's so special. So Tom and I, we really, Mommy, please get a Sega Genesis. Please get a Sega Genesis. So we're hunting around the apartment, and we get into the closet, and we get to the very tip top. And what do we see there? What do we see there sitting on the top shelf of the shelf? My mama, my poor mama, saved up all her pennies and got us a goddamn Sega Genesis. Oh, thank you, Mama. We're happy. We're so jazzed. The problem is, we found this thing well before Christmas. This isn't Christmas Eve we're talking about. This is like 2 weeks before Christmas. And if you're a young kid, if you're like some 8-year-old kid, and you know you're getting a Sega Genesis for Christmas, but you can't play with it till Christmas. Well, that's a recipe for pain and heartache, folk. That is a recipe for heartache and pain. So we waited patiently, right? You can't be like, hey, Mom, we want to play the Sega Genesis, please. We know you got it, right? Because she's just going to throw that thing out. You can't go sneaking around and then tell people what you sneakily found. That's snitching on yourself. And Mama didn't raise no fool. Mama raised a child who could get away with his crimes. I love you, Mom. So, Sega Genesis, we're waiting 2 weeks. Christmas Day comes. I mean, I don't even think we slept that night. So jazzed, so excited. And the whole family is around, and all their brothers and sisters. We were like, I don't know, 10, how many were? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We were like 7, 8, 9 people, all surrounded. And now's the big event, right? Everybody's opened their presents. We've been made to wait, right? And then finally, they're going to open our gifts, right? And everyone's watching. Oh, my God, we're so excited. And I remember everybody leaning over, just big smiles on their face. They're going to be so happy once we open our box. They're going to see the joy in their face when we get the Sega Genesis. And so we rip over the packages of the box, and we rip it over, my brother and I, and we're ripping it open, and we see Sega Genesis. We already know the Sega Genesis, but we're still happy there's a Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis! Yay! Yay! Mama! Yay! Then we open up the box, and it's empty. The Sega Genesis box is an empty Sega Genesis box. There ain't nothing inside. So we turn around and we think, this is strange. And everybody's like laughing around us. We're like, what? We turned to my mom and we're like, huh, what's going on? And she said, I'm really sorry, boys. This year, I couldn't save enough to get your Sega Genesis. Didn't have the money. Couldn't afford it. So we got the box. We thought you'd be happy. At least you have the Sega Genesis box. Well, Tom and I, we took it very well. All we did was cry the deepest cry we've ever cried in our entire life. Still to this day, the deepest pain we've ever felt. That's all. That's all. We weren't out. We weren't setting out a vendetta, vengeance to go after people. Nothing like that. We're crying and crying and crying and literally weeping, crying. Oh my God! What? We've been waiting. And they're laughing their butts off. Everybody is laughing. And that's only adding insult to injury. It's only making us more upset. And suddenly we're getting angry. Like, what the hell is going on? This is literally the opposite of what we expected to happen today. Stop crying, kids. The Sega Genesis is behind the couch. So we go behind the couch, and there it is. But I tell you, there's a way to give a gift to kids, and there's a way not to give a gift to kids. Did getting the Sega Genesis make us all happy? It made us better. But I'm only now realizing that the true gift my mother was giving that Christmas day was not a gift to Tom and Peter, to the little tykes. No, it wasn't a gift for us. It was a gift for all the adults. It was a gift for everybody else who was in on the joke. That was the true gift. So, looking back now, I can say, congratulations, Mom. You did it. And then all it cost you was a Sega Genesis and the spirit, the youthful spirit the joyful spirit of young children. That was the price that was paid for that experience. So yeah, there's Christmas. That's my story for Christmas. Hope you enjoyed it. What else did I want to tell you? Do you remember like when it was that you realized that Santa wasn't real? That's another thing that white people do to their kids, way more than black people do, that I found. I shouldn't be talking about white people, black people, but anyway, I'm Bad Guru today. It's perfectly fine. You white people really lay on this Santa thing. You really want people to believe it's true, right? You put gifts and Santa gave you this gift and you leave cookies out and milk. If you left cookies and milk out of my house, I'd be eating the cookies and milk. Anyway, I don't know, when did you find out that Santa wasn't real? I remember there was at some point, I don't know, I was 5 years old or something, I believed in Santa Claus. I mean, who's not going to believe in the guy who's going to give you free gifts, right? Oh, I don't believe in Santa. You can keep his crappy gifts. No, you're going to believe it. If you're going to get something out of it, you're going to believe it, all right? It's very incentive based. But I remember going to church and being like, Santa Claus, Santa's not real. There's no Santa. No, the only person that's going to be visiting you in your house on Christmas is Jesus. And Jesus is not bringing any gifts. He's expecting things from you. Anyway, yeah, I think my Christian upbringing kind of conflicted with Santa. We didn't like that stuff. What do I have here? Scared of Santa. Yeah, I was scared of Santa. I remember when they told me, Santa. I remember the first year, Santa was coming. There was an old white guy going to come into your house in the middle of the night. Oh, by the way, he watches you. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. I was like, what? Who is this guy? Does he have jurisdiction over my house? How dare he impose his morality and his ethics on my life? So I was kind of scared of Santa. He seemed to be like this guy who was going to I don't know. It's one thing to get punished. It's another thing to not get gifts. I kind of felt I was a little scared of Santa. I was like, I don't want an old man in my house. I'd be like awake at night going, oh my God, is he here? But I also found it strange because I thought that Santa only went to rich people's houses. Because they told me that Santa comes down your chimney. Well, he ain't got no chimney. So I just thought Santa goes to houses with chimneys, and those houses are rich people's houses. I mean, they weren't rich, but, that's what I thought. I was like, Santa's not coming here. You know what? You shouldn't be allowed to celebrate Christmas if you don't believe in Jesus. I'm just going to say it. There. I said it. You shouldn't be allowed to celebrate Christmas if you don't believe in Christ. It's in the name, Christmas. It's totally weird. I know, you don't think it's weird because you've been celebrating it your whole life. Oh no, I'm not religious, I just like Christmas. But you gotta believe in Christ, it's a religion. Make your own holidays. Make your own holiday. Don't take over Christmas. Christmas is about Jesus. Right? Can you imagine, right? Can you imagine? Oh, I'm not a Christian, I just celebrate Christmas. Can you imagine me, right? I go, I celebrate Hanukkah. Oh, Hanukkah season is here. Yay, Hanukkah. But you're not Jewish. You don't have to be Jewish to celebrate Hanukkah. I'm going to celebrate Hanukkah. Dreidel, 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 here we go. Right? Wouldn't that be weird if all of a sudden we were all celebrating Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever the heck holidays there are around Christmas, but you ain't that religion? Is it just me? Anywho, I grew up in this is the last thing I'll tell you. So you know it's going to be very long, so buckle in. I don't know how long I've been doing this. I won't keep you too long tonight. I do want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me your attention. I believe in the power of attention. And we're going to be using that in 2021 in order to do great things in this world. You might think that you're powerless. You might think that you can't do X or Y. But the truth is we're far more powerful than we believe. And in this time of crisis, in this time of need, when it might appear that our leaders are failing us, it reveals to us how much more we have to rely on ourselves, how much more we have to empower ourselves as individuals and together in order to accomplish what we want to accomplish instead of waiting for other people to do it for us. So we're going to be talking about that in 2021. I grew up in a Christian fundamentalist church. It was Pentecostal. And we're really orthodox, right? We really truly believe in the word of the Bible, and we're very serious about it. I'd go to church, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. It was really a big part of my life, and we were very serious about church. This wasn't going to church on Mass for Christmas or whatever the Catholics do. I don't know. This wasn't that. And in our church, when it came to Christmas, there was a pretty stark divide. Half the church celebrated Christmas, and half the church considered it to be an evil pagan holiday that you shouldn't ever, ever, ever celebrate. And it wasn't this calm divide. The people who did not celebrate Christmas thought that the people who did celebrate Christmas were bona fide, sort of really doing something terribly evil, terribly wrong, right? You get that whole imagery with the tree and the Santa, but that ain't good at all. That's pagan imagery. The tree, you know why we decorate trees? Because the pagans would worship the trees. They would worship nature, worship the trees. And they'd decorate the trees and they'd put gifts under the trees. That's why we do it. It has nothing to do with Christ. It has to do with the pagan holiday. And so half the church was like, no, we're not going to celebrate Christmas. And so the church would have like a Christmas play and a Christmas service, and half the church that day wasn't there. And it was very strange because all year long we were very together. All year long there's like 300 of us just like singing and praising and filling up the church and singing and having a wonderful time listening to preaching, eating together, all that wonderful stuff. Christmas would come along and the rest of the world would be kumbaya, kumbaya. And in my church, with half of them, we were out of here. We don't want to be associated with those pagan rituals at all. And so in the church, it was just this divide. But it was very interesting because even though it was a very sharp divide and people had very strong feelings about it, Christmas would go and we'd come back together. And we didn't really hold it against each other. What I want for Christmas, if I had to think about what I would want for Christmas and what I want for 2021, is that I want human beings, us, to start listening to each other again. To start listening especially to the other side, especially to the people you think are doing grave evil. When you do evil from your perspective, it seems fine, right? Generally speaking. Murder. I'm doing the right thing. But sometimes you do something bad, and from your perspective, you say, I'm doing well, I'm doing good. I'm sending my child to a school without grades, and he or she is just gonna learn. And then another person's like, I'm gonna send my kid to a military boot camp, and they're gonna learn. Right? And you're like, I don't know what kind of people that raises, but sometimes we do things that we consider to be evil. Right? You see somebody driving down the street and they're driving in a Hummer. You're like, oh, that gas guzzler, you're so evil, don't you know you're destroying the environment? Right? There's people who do things, but from your perspective, you're like, hey, look, I earn my money. Why can't I have a Hummer? Why can't I have a house with a fireplace, right? Why can't I do this? Why can't I wear the clothes I want? Why can't I travel where I want? I have to care about the environment. And as we go on, even the simplest things are dividing us like crazy. This division, I see it just increasing, and I don't want that. We have to find a way to stay in the same church, to celebrate and to worship together without holding grudges and vilifying the other side, by listening to them, by caring for them, by recognizing that there are different perspectives. And I know, I talk to people and I can tell that mostly people, if there's a variation in perspective, they'll be okay with it, but only if that variation falls within their spectrum of acceptability. I'm not going to accept, if I'm a Democrat, I'm definitely not going to accept those evil Republicans. And Republicans are definitely not going to accept those evil Democrats, right? Liberals and conservatives, this great divide. What I want for the new year is for us to start listening to each other, for us to start recognizing, look, we're on the same planet, we're in the same place, we're in the same church. And if we fight, it's just going to be destruction. There's just no way forward with division. I mean, do I have to say that out loud? There's no way forward with division. If we don't find a way, look, when we're trying to figure out criminal justice reform and figure out what we're going to do with our prisoners, we got to figure out what to do with murderers, right? With evil people. We got to figure out what to do with them. And you might say, oh, burn them all, kill them all, they should all be gone, but they're not going to be gone, they're here. And the liberals and conservatives and this side and that side, I'm wearing a mask and I'm going to get the vaccine and I'm social distancing. And then you have the other people going, I don't want to do all that stuff. You're destroying my life. I want to go back to business. I want to go back to work. And you have one side pointing the other going, you're evil. And you have the other side pointing the other going, no, you're evil. And I just want to let you guys know it ain't going to work. There's no way forward with division. Just not going to work. Your side will not win without destroying the other side. And is that what you want? Most evil, most harm that's done is done out of ignorance. People wouldn't do harm knowingly. Not most people. It's out of ignorance. So we're going to doom people to hell, eternal hell, to be cast out and banished because they're evil? Even God didn't destroy the devil. God saw that there was a role for the devil to play in this world. There's a world for bad ideas. It contrasts good ideas. There's a world where we can work together. And maybe working together is not possible, but I'll tell you what's damn sure not possible, continuing this division. So what are we going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to work very hard to show people ideas and ways that we can move forward together, where we can have differing opinions and be diametrically opposed, but still find a way to work together. That's what I believe. I believe in fundamental principles that work for both sides. And if your principle only works for your side, then your principle sucks. It's not as useful as a principle that brings us all together. Here we are on this planet. COVID, Trump, your mom not giving you empty boxes on Christmas. I know those are not the same, but the principle is still the same. It works for all. Forgive, let it go. It might seem evil from your perspective. Your mom might seem like an evil B word for doing what she did to you, for destroying your innocence. I have never, ever opened up a present since then without a tinge of apprehension. You know, I'm shaking the box. Is there something in here? I am forever changed by that moment. But I know that moment was born out of love. That moment was born out of her trying to do something good. And the people out there who are afraid of COVID or not afraid of COVID or whatever, we're all just trying to live our lives. And if we can listen to each other and we can demonstrate that we're listening, then actually one side might come closer to the other side and that other side might come closer to you. And we can find some way to move forward in harmony and unity to some degree. We are never, ever all going to agree. And I certainly don't want to live on a planet where we all agree, where there's no difference between one country or the other, where there's no difference between one province or state or the other, or one city or the other, or one household. I want there to be variation and difference. That's what gives the world its complexity, its beauty. When you look into nature, you see all kinds of competing forces. And if you look close enough, it's horrible and it's terrible and it's destructive. But it's also cohesive. It's also an ecosystem that works in balance. We have to remember that. We have to remember that the lion lives in the same planet with its prey. I couldn't remember what lions eat just for a second there. I was like, gazelle? Is it a deer or deers in the savannah? Right? The wolf and the lamb, they're in the same place. We got to find some way of creating an ecosystem where we can work together. What I love about Christmas is that there's this feeling in the air of at least wanting to feel good, wanting to come together, wanting to celebrate life. And I think after this long year of COVID that we've had, I certainly have had a strong desire to feel a celebration today, which is why I'm with you here today, why I want to joke with you, why I wanted to talk with you. But today is not where Christmas ends for me. Christmas is going to continue day after day. And I'm going to make it my job, my mission, my goal, my aim, my intention to bring the Christmas spirit day after day, to encourage us to give together, to give ourselves gifts, to listen to each other, to forgive us, each of us, when we do something wrong. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know it's going to depend on every one of our decisions, our choices. And you're going to have the choice to attack, to tear down, to destroy. You're going to have that choice. I'm asking you to choose something different. I'm asking you to choose kindness, love, open-mindedness, to listen. I'm going to put that into practice, and I hope you give yourself the gift of doing the same. Merry Christmas to all of you. I love you all. You are so fantastic. I am so enamored with human beings. I cannot believe that human beings wake up every day and continue living this life. And I do it because you do it. And I will not give up, and I hope you don't either. My name is Bad Guru. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.